Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Put the Guidebook Down, Kultura Travel's podcast brought to you by me, Kiara, the creator, as your host, and back for another episode, my good friend, Mike, former English teaching assistant in Morocco with Fulbright.
Yes, ma'am.
And back for more discussion, more tea. Get it?
Like atay.
Yes. Hot. And we're going to kick off this round 2 with a first question actually about tea. As we know, tea does play a role in Moroccan culture. Definitely. It is also one of the most bought tourist souvenirs. Let's jump right into it.
Sure.
What role did tea play in your daily life in Morocco?
Tea, very simply put, is just called atay in Morocco. So really simple to remember, in my opinion.
Yes.
And you can either get it with sugar or without sugar. Who you ask is really going to depend, like what you get. My first time getting it, I had it with sugar. And then I tried it without sugar and said, ooh, not my favorite. It was still good though. But tea really becomes a part of your daily life. I remember my first day teaching, my point of contact, my boss pulled me out and said, hey, let's go get some atay. And I said, all right, say less. And it just becomes like your day to day. If you want to have a conversation with somebody, you want to just chill or hang out, you're going to go grab some tea and sit in a cafe and people watch. And it was really just simple as that. It's a means of connecting with other people and just relaxing. I'd even go grab tea myself and just sit at the cafe and watch the cars and the people on the street go by as I listen to music.
That's so fun. But now I have to ask, how long did it take for you to learn how to pour the tea correctly? One of the biggest tourist blunders, and one that I also unfortunately did while visiting you.
Yes.
And for you who don't know, there is a very specific way to pour your tea in Morocco.
Yes. I don't know if I'm even at a Moroccan's level yet. I can get pretty high without the tea spilling. But like, I think once we get like up here, I'm like, I think if you're like beginner, intermediate, and advanced, I'd say I'm like a little bit past intermediate. I think that's what I would say. Maybe I'm giving myself too much credit, but let's not go back to Morocco. We'll see. I'll have somebody grade me.
Good. Because I feel like this is one of the biggest tourist blunders is then watching, as I've done, putting the tea right next to it, the spout, into the teacup.
Yes.
Yes.
Not your finest moment.
No, it's okay. Hey, it's all part of learning.
Exactly. We'll go back to Morocco. We'll do it right next time.
Yes. I think that means I need a round 2, right?
I am ready for round 2 whenever.
Hopefully in the near future we can head back then.
Near future. Let's go tomorrow.
Ready, set, go.
Exactly. Tickets booked.
Well, how then did the pace of life differ there from what you are used to? And now I feel like this is a little bit of a difficult question because you had gone to Morocco in between completing your master's, and then from being the student to a teacher, and then now you're back to being the student, but then also a career professional.
I think it's a little bit more nuanced than that. I would say I did my master's, but I was working for my master's. It was supposed to be part-time, but really the hours, you know how it works.
Yes.
I was also doing a lot of research at the beginning of my master's as well, up until towards the end. It felt like full-time almost if we added everything together. Not full-time, but felt like it.
Full-time.
And I think also growing up in New York City, like my entire experience has been like go, go, go.
Yeah.
Or rush, rush, rush. I think you even call me out. Sometimes you're like, calm down. We need to walk that fast.
Where are we running to? Enjoy the moment.
Exactly. So for me going to Morocco, I would still get the same thing. Why are you walking so fast? Like, slow down. Yeah. And I was like, you're right. So Morocco is very calm, very, very slow paced for me, at least. So it was really drastic, actually. I'm not used to just like going and sitting and like sipping on my drink for 2 hours, right? Like I'm used to like coffee as my water. Like you're running and it's like your coffee is gone. But now I came back from Morocco and I find that I'll make a drink last 2 hours. I'm just sipping on it and enjoying the flavor and the taste. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things that Morocco actually gave me was the ability to savor the moment and the ability to take in what's happening at this moment, not what's happening tomorrow, not what happened yesterday. I have to reflect and do this and fix it. Yes, do all that, but live in the moment once in a while. Relax, enjoy your atay. That's it.
Yeah. Which goes into this whole concept of slow travel that we talk about.
Yeah.
Because especially with people who plan these vacations long in advance, kind of turning more into a checklist.
Yeah.
Versus then actually enjoying where you are. So you have to hit, point A, point B, point C. And next thing you know, you're going through like 5 cities in 3 days, which if that's your type of travel can be fun, but at the same time,
it's really draining.
Very draining. You're not enjoying the moment or maybe
are you even taking in what you saw?
Exactly. Yes.
Can you distinguish where you went from the other place? Yeah.
I've had that moment where I was like in the Baltic region and I was going between Latvia and Lithuania. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, I hate to admit this, but it was one of those whirlwind checklist travels. And I was like, am I in Lithuania or Latvia right now? I was like, I know I'm going to get canceled for saying this, but this is the awareness factor of it being checklist travel versus, as you said, taking the moment to actually be where you are, be present, enjoy where you are. So then that's going to go into my next question.
Sure.
Of a story from your time that captures the Moroccan hospitality or connection. And it doesn't have to be just about atay.
No, definitely. Good question. I mean, I think just like from that iftar that we went to together, but also there was this guy down the street from me who owned a rug store, and you met him.
Yeah, he's such a great dude. Yeah.
He was so nice. He would invite me for couscous every Friday, which is really big cultural thing in Morocco. Every Friday. I forget. Did you have it?
No, I missed it. That was one of the things everyone kept saying. Try the couscous, but I wasn't there.
Next time, so you have to go back.
Round 2.
So I would get invited for couscous every Friday, and I'd say I made most Fridays. And that was just really nice. I would meet different people from the neighborhood because he would invite everybody. It was like the homeless people on the street or, some of the people that worked for him or this and that. And it was nice. Mm-hmm. I really got to experience like more of Morocco because of that. Cool. I also have a really good friend who brought me to his family home. Literally, maybe like 2 or 3 days after actually like knowing him. He said, "Do you want to come to Urica with me?"
Yeah,
and I was like, "What's Urica?"
What?
That was really nice as well. So, and I got to see his family home, meet his brothers and some of his family members, and that was great. There was atay.
Of course,
there's always atay.
Noticing a trend here.
Always. But yeah, and then like even my students, right? My first week there, some of them were like, if you need anything, please like let us know. Or if you want to like do anything or anybody to go with you, they were like, let me know. I mean, I said no, obviously, because you have to maintain that boundary with your students.
Yeah.
But it was nice to know that if I had questions, I could ask them.
And that they wanted
to share it with me. And that they wanted to make sure that I felt at home and comfortable.
Yeah. Which is huge.
Huge. So definitely. The entire experience, like anything that we look at, it can be boiled down to Moroccan hospitality, I'd say.
So then this whole Moroccan hospitality, what did it teach you about patience, communication, and being present? I know you mentioned atay and having that time to actually drink the tea and have conversations with the people who are having the tea with you, but what else?
I mean, I don't know. I think I'm definitely more patient now. You've known me for going on 8 years now?
Oh my gosh, time is flying.
So I'd say I'm more patient than I was before. And I think a lot of that is because, you have to be patient with yourself when you're learning and navigating these new experiences and environments. Because if you don't, you're going to beat yourself up and you're not going to have the time that you want. What was it? It was patience.
Patience and then hospitality and being present in the moment.
I mean, it's all intertwined, right? If a lot of my peers, not my peers, but a lot of the people that I was hanging out with didn't speak English fluently, right? They spoke English much better than I spoke Darija. But there was a lot of times where the language barrier was too strong, so we'd have to figure it out together.
Yeah.
And they were just like excited to be like talking with me and communicating.
Right.
But that patience and like eventually you're going to get to the finish line. Eventually everybody's going to understand what we're talking about. It's all because of the Moroccan hospitality that got me there and that I'm able to like live in the moment and appreciate what's happening right in front of me now. So it's all intertwined, I would say, at the end of the day.
Yeah. I like the note you said about the language barrier because I feel now with the rise of AI and more technology, people are still seeking now quicker answers, instant gratification. We put falling at the snowflake generation where they need the answer right then and there now.
Yeah.
And we still need to be cognizant of, with this language barrier, to have the patience to find that mutually understandable language, rather if it's just body language, right? Just like doing the gestures around and like saying, oh, I'm trying to get here. This is where I want to go left, go left, go left. I mean, it's just the patience with it. And that also comes with cultural travel, the level of patience you need to go against the language barriers, find mutual understanding, be able to navigate those differences and say road signs versus like how you drink the tea. Like,
definitely.
It's so big. And I want more people to find that patience, as you said, to really take the moment to breathe and slow down.
I mean, but also I don't want to discredit AI. I think it's a great tool for learning the language, especially.
Yeah, we're not discrediting it.
Like the way that I've been able to learn so much faster now. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Maybe we could just take a quick detour about that.
Sure.
Because I love AI. I talk about AI all the time on my other podcast for my job and use it on my daily basis. And especially being a linguist, this whole new world unlocked with AI to help with language preservation. Mm-hmm. You can speak to that because you used AI to help you learn the local language and to push past the language barrier. So maybe like before we get into our next section of the podcast, you can talk about how you used AI to study the language, what worked, what didn't work, why you liked it, why you didn't like it, etc.
Definitely. So there's not a lot of resources actually for Moroccan Darija, which made it difficult learning beforehand. When I got to Morocco, I was able to find a language center where I was able to learn. But sometimes, right, maybe they won't have every bit of information in the books because you also have a language teacher who you're supposed to learn from.
Right.
And eventually sometimes you see something you think you're going to remember and you're not. Or like you don't always remember what they said.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just didn't teach it. Whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Sometimes things like when you're learning the language, in my opinion, learning like prepositions and things should be one of the first things you do. Because you want to jump in, right? You want to be making sentences after day 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But you can't because you don't know these prepositions. So what I did was I used ChatGPT and I was like, hey, can you give me a list of prepositions in Darija? And it did. And I was able to take those and write them down and learn them and incorporate them into my existing vocabulary. Was it perfect? No, absolutely not. But I was able to get farther faster because I was using it as a tool. And I could even like, hey, here's the sentence I wrote. Is this correct?
Yeah.
And it would say, not quite, or yeah, this is natural.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So I would write down what the natural one was, and I would write down my incorrect one, but I would cross out the parts that were wrong. And I would just go from there. Just using it as your like at-home tutor almost.
That's so cool.
Yeah, especially when you're shy at the beginning and you don't want to make mistakes in front of people.
Which we have to understand is okay.
Of course.
Make the mistakes.
Make the mistakes, but sometimes it's okay to wait and make the mistakes as you progress too.
Right. Of course. This is actually giving me the idea that we really should do a whole episode about, maybe I'll get more of our Fulbrighters to talk about their local language learning experience, but then also now there's the role of AI and how it's really adding a new angle to those traditional cultural exchange study programs as well. I think that'd be
really interesting to talk about.
Yeah, it's giving me ideas. It looks like you'll be coming back for part 3.
Hey, perfect.
Switching now into this idea of the meaning behind cultural exchange, authentic travel, immersion, really that whole side of it, because that's what we're all about here. And I want to know then, because you went through such this deep and meaningful experience, how has your idea of authentic travel really changed since you're Fulbright? Has it changed how you approach travel now? What do you look for? Expectations?
Definitely. I think I can still appreciate all the different types of travel, right? Even when we're going to a resort once in a while to relax. But I definitely prefer talking with locals and getting, like a perspective or just like a tour from somebody.
Right.
I think you remember when we were in Chefchaouen together, right? Yeah. I think we mentioned this in the last part of but I can't remember.
Yeah, a little bit. We briefly touched on it.
So we had just gotten back from Portugal and then we head to Chefchaouen and it's you and one of my friends. And
also a Fulbrighter.
Yeah. And I guess like they just didn't feel like speaking Darija that day. And I was like, all right, it's
a little shy.
A little shy. They were just a little shy. But I remember I had to use mine because not a lot of people spoke English up there.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot did. But I was able to use my Darija to a point where they weren't speaking English with me. And I said, oh, say less. This feels great.
Yeah.
And we got directions and travel, and we were like talking about local agriculture and all of that stuff. And it was really nice. And I was able to take a lot of that because that was March when you visited. So for the rest of March, April, May, June, and when I left in July, I tried really my best to only communicate in Darija when I was out and about. Not always successful. But I tried. It was all that matters.
Yes.
And I think if I hadn't tried, then I don't think I would have had the same experience. And I don't think that people would have been as willing to help me out or show me things, or introduce me to their version of Morocco. You know, I lived there for a year. I wanted to see El Maghrib. I didn't want to see Morocco.
Right.
Yeah. I got Morocco after like 2 or 3 months, but I wanted to see like Maghrib. Yeah.
I think it's even just like talking about the usefulness side of it as well, because you did help us get back to Tangier after everything. You helped us with some negotiating and for haggling.
And don't you remember you and our friend were like, no, it's the other way. And I said, no, I had the conversation. It's definitely this way. And I was right.
Exactly.
And I was right.
Yeah. He's going to rub that in my face.
Forever.
No, but I feel like that's also just another re-emphasis, not only just to see the true form of where you're visiting, but also the fact that on a practical level, you do need some level of the language. So I like that. Now, then what has this experience shown you for authentic travel? Is that like then you seek out those experiences now in addition to when you do the resort travel? Do you have expectations when it comes to navigating authentic travel?
I don't have any expectations about it. I know every place is going to be different. Right. And I'm not going to have the same fluency in every language when I travel these places, because it's not possible, because there's so many different dialects and nuances to each. But that being said, I think authentic travel gives you those stories that you'll remember for the rest of your life. Right. And those stories you want to tell your grandkids, as opposed to just like sitting like on the beach, which can be nice sometimes.
Can be nice.
But I don't want that to be my whole trip.
Right.
By having authentic travel, talking to locals, by doing things that are off the beaten path, I think I'm actually gaining so much and more understanding of the place that I'm visiting. Right. That makes me want to continue learning about it and really appreciate the culture for what it is. It's not, okay, this place is pretty. Take a picture of the sunset and like move on. That's not, again, appreciate the moment that you're in and you're going to see so much more.
I like that. So then what advice would you give to the travelers seeking the deeper connection with culture and the authentic travel, right?
I think even if you speak a language just a teeny bit, keep trying, like go there and like do your best to communicate in that language and ask questions, like throw yourself in those situations. Nothing that will put you in danger, please.
Right. But, yes. Safety's number one.
Yes. But if you see somebody sitting at a cafe, right? Or let's break it down even simpler. You have 2 cafes right next to each other. Right. One has a bunch of tourists. One has a bunch of locals, right? The one with all the tourists, maybe it has something interesting that's on the menu, right? Or this food or that. But most likely you can find that anywhere else. Go to the one with all the locals, sit down with your friend and just like chat. Be like, hey, I'm like new here. Do you have any suggestions? This and that. And just try your best to see what other people aren't going to see.
Yeah. I think going back then to the shy point we mentioned, it could be difficult for people to have that inner drive to start the conversation with someone. So then what would you recommend for them to get over that? Or to maybe what other option can they choose while at the more local cafe?
One could be you don't necessarily have to talk to a person next to you, but maybe talk to your waiter. If they come up, hey, I'm like new here. Do you have any suggestions? More often than not, I feel like the waiter will speak English. Yeah. But I also think just saying, kind of like what we said earlier, right? If you do one thing in your day, then it's a success. I would say put yourself in that one uncomfortable situation, in that one moment. Yeah. And just ask the question. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But you tried and you can say it. And then tomorrow you can try again. Right. The day after you can try again. Something else. And then you can bring it back. And like everywhere you travel from now on. That's what I try to do at least now. And I think it really does help with everything. Cause like, I don't know. You do that when you go to a restaurant, right? Hey, I don't know what to order. What do you like? Why can't we do that for the city that we're visiting?
It's a very good point right there.
Yeah.
I want to emphasize that.
I tried.
Yes, that was a mic drop, Mike. Get it?
You're so annoying. But yes, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Before we close out this episode, I want to know what's one moment that you'll always carry with you from Morocco. Then one.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Number one memory, experience, maybe even a feeling that comes to mind when you think about Morocco.
Okay. You know this is so hard for me.
I know. I'm enjoying this.
This is so hard. I think if there's one feeling I would say characterizes Morocco for me, it's introspective. And the reason I say that is because everything that I've gained from Morocco, right? Patience, putting yourself in the moment, being more outgoing than I already am, which I know you're like, that's a lot already, Mike.
I was going to say, we need more of that.
And just really understanding what it means to get to know local people has allowed me to think more about myself, the way that I approach things, how I view the world, how I view my travel, and all of this. Everything I do, I think about it deeply now, and I'm reflective on it. And I'm like, all right, what can I do better next time? What can I do this? And I bring that into every different aspect of my life. So it's not just regarding traveling. It's my interpersonal relationships. It's work, schooling, anything that has to do with that. Everything. It's introspective. And because Morocco gave me that ability, because I mean, a lot of the time, right? You were a Fulbrighter. Yeah. There's a lot of alone time sometimes.
A lot.
Yeah. And you have to make use of that.
Yeah.
I started reading more. I did all of this. And I said, okay, this is fun. But then when I really sat with myself, that's when all the learning happened. That's when everything changed, I think. And when I think back to Morocco, aside from like happiness, I think the biggest feeling, if it even is a feeling, is like being introspective, having the ability to think critically about myself.
I think that's amazing. I think it's one of the points that we need to encourage more and bring attention to with this travel. Because not even just for cultural exchanges or when you're staying in a country long term, but you're put into these different situations, you're put into a different environment, and you're going to react different.
Definitely.
And you're learning more about you. You're getting new perspectives. You're learning about how you are on a different level, how you react in certain scenarios. I mean, one of the number one things that I got told for advice is when you're choosing your partner, one of the most important milestones is to go to a new destination. It doesn't have to be far. Just step out of your shared environment, try something new, and see how you guys react.
Yeah, definitely.
You'll see another side of their colors, maybe how they respond, if they get snappy, if they are like suddenly shutting down, or if they're stepping up and they're really interested in trying something new.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's to your point, is that with a lot of this alone time, you have to be comfortable in the uncomfortable.
Exactly. And that's where all the growth happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's just really cool. It was good. For me, it was like, because as you said, I've known you for 8 years. It was really fascinating to see you step out of your shell, really rise up to the challenge of the language barriers. And again, with Chef Shao and us being like, how are we getting back? And then you being like, I got this, and then taking lead on the situation. I was like, yay.
Yeah,
this is so cool. Yeah, I was like, hey, because I'm usually the planner. I was like, Mike's got it.
I'm not planning too much, but there was enough.
From Morocco?
Maybe I did plan a lot.
You did plan a lot on that one. Because I remember I was like, you visited me in Moldova. I said, I got this. But I said, when I come visit you in Morocco, you got this.
Yeah.
You did get it.
I did get it.
I'm just so proud of you. I am grateful that you came on to this podcast to talk about it.
I can talk Morocco for hours, so this was a pleasure.
Well, see, I might take you up on that. So, see,
let's get some new questions and then we can go.
Hey, we'll get the new question. Anything else that you would like to add before we close out?
No, I think this was great. I really appreciated it. Mm-hmm. For anybody that is interested, Morocco is an awesome country. Definitely worth checking out. Mm-hmm. Do your research beforehand, though. But also go with an open mind and be willing to have one of the best experiences of your life.
Yeah, I love it. Open-mindedness. Get ready for authentic travel, cultural travel and immersion, and leaving with a new perspective and experience. So Be sure to check out our channels. Get ready for the next episode. We're going to have another guest, and we'll keep getting more into this idea of authentic cultural travel with different perspectives, stories, and experiences. Thank you so much, everyone.